narrative. The mainstream has exposed itself. When it comes to the BLM, when it comes to other things, the mainstream now has exposed itself very clearly. And that's why now the Muslims, when they say, look, we're being misrepresented, obviously people want to hear and they relate with that more. Yeah, it's more obvious. So I think the brothers, what they wanted was that we hash out some of the arguments that are posited by the opposition, by the Zionists.
Let's do that. And can I just add something to this? I think this is very true, right? Do you know it takes something like that? It takes the storming of Al-Aqsa Masjid. It takes the killing of children. It takes the obvious oppression, the painfully obvious oppression, for the Muslims to come and to actually put aside their squabbling differences and to unite upon the truth. To unite upon the truth for this cause, which is greater than all of ourselves. And what we need to do, and this is a message to everyone, we need to educate ourselves on the history and the present. This is imperative. If you want to have a narrative altering impact, you need to learn. The first thing that came in the Quran is Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. Read, recite in the Lord of your who khalaq al-insana min alaq, who created the Lord from a clot and so on. So we have to, and you know, there is a hadith that says, Jahidu mushrikina bi anfusikum wa amwalikum wa alsinatikum. That do jihad with those enemies. With those, and we're not talking about all polytheists, but those enemies of them, right? With yourselves. And that's what we're seeing now in those individuals in Aqsa, those resistance to the occupiers. If that's not jihad, there is no jihad. That is exactly jihad. When the child throws a stone at the oppressive army, that is jihad fi sabilillah already. Wa amwalikum, and your monies, and bi alsinatikum. Now think about this. Why did the Prophet say bi alsinatikum, and with your tongues? How can you do jihad with your tongue? If jihad was about doing that physical damage, why is this hadith even there? How can you explain the hadith? This shows you that jihad is through argumentation as well. That when Brother Mansour or Brother Hashim or Brother Zishan or Ali Dawah or anybody who's a regular speaker here, when they are going against the standard false narratives and they are presenting the Islamic perspective and they are outlining the oppression, this is jihad. The Quran says, وَجَاهِدُهُمْ بِهِ جِهَادًا كَبِيرًا, and do jihad with it, with the Quran, to them, a big jihad. So what we say today, because we want to see what's happening here, is that we will be releasing information about the history of this. I've already released a lot of information on that. But what I need everybody here to do is realize that your contribution is not, yes, your contribution is not insignificant. It's not trivial. It should not be minimized. If you put a comment or a like or a share, wallahi, that is just like, it's like we're in a dark room and everyone's putting on their lighters. And together, the torches make a blinding, illuminating light that those oppressors will be forced to see. And that's what I say. I say, do not undervalue your contribution. Wallahi, with the power of social media, we will have a vanguard now. We already have a vanguard, and it's already destroying them. It's already destroying them. They're putting adverts. You've done a video on this. They're putting adverts on our videos. I don't even know how they did it. Permission. You know, they're trying to counteract it because it's just too many views. They're being swarmed online. Why do you think that it took only 11 days before they came out and not 25 or 26 or 30 days or 50 days? Because the pressure from the international community and the pressure from those on social media was too heavy, and the atrocities were too obvious, and their crimes were too much, that they knew they would be destroying their reputation bit by bit. But we should not let our weapons go. And when I say weapons, I'm not talking about rifles, I'm talking about the pen. The pen, and we're talking about the power of intellection. وَدُّوا الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا لَوْ تَغْفُلُوا عَنْ أَسْلِحَتِكُمْ وَأَمْتِعَتِكُمْ فَيَمِيلُونَ عَلَيْكُمْ مَيْلَةً وَاحِدَةً. That the disbelievers wish that you'd let go of your armory so that they can attack you one time. Don't get complacent now because there's a ceasefire. We need to keep the pressure on these individuals. We need to all be together. What do you say, Zishan, about that?
100%. I 100% agree with that. We keep the momentum going. The media hype will fizzle down in a couple of weeks with the ceasefire. They just delay stuff. You don't stop it. Yeah, and they have a habit of doing this. Oh, we're just delaying it. Oh, we're going to see what's happening in Sheikh Jarrah. No, it's going to continue. Keep following the footage. Keep following the hashtags. Educate yourselves, educate the people around you, and then spread that knowledge, be it 5 people, 10 people. Same thing about the lighters. Yeah, the more people that do it collectively, it becomes a flame. Then it becomes a fire. Yeah, and then it becomes much more powerful.
Extermination of Jews.
That's not what we are.
I think that's what you are, because that's what the Hamas Charter is.
He's provoking.
The Hamas
Just carry on.
No.
Okay, it's actually. Okay, so.
The Hamas Charter is calling for
we're not talking about
extermination of
Hamas.
Jews. You do understand?
Okay, so me.
Is that what you want?
Well, I'm going to answer you.
We're not saying
So me.
What you want?
So me sharing.
No, because the Hamas.
So me sharing social media posts about the suffering of our Palestinian people is somehow, what were you saying? Burning what?
Extermination of Jews.
Extermination of Jews. We're not talking about Hamas Charter. I didn't mention Hamas Charter. I'm saying sharing social media posts. Sharing social media posts, my friend. No. And that's a very good example. Yeah, and I'm going to give the example of Bella Hadid. Yeah, Bella Hadid is probably the most famous. She's probably one of the most famous models or celebrities that have spoken out, and you have exactly people like this that have now accused her of being anti-Semitic. Yeah, she's been accused of being anti-Semitic. Yeah, anybody who speaks out, they're being labeled with this term of anti-Semitic, and then Hamas gets brought up. Yeah, this issue existed way before Hamas. Today, yes, Hamas. Tomorrow will be somebody else. You cannot use Hamas anymore. You cannot use Hamas anymore. You cannot use. We're bored of it. We're bored of it. The statistics are clear. The news are clear. You go on Twitter. It's overwhelming. You go to the marches. Today there was a pro-Israel march. Did you go to the pro-Israel march? Did you go to the pro-Israel march? Did you go to the pro-Israel march? Yes, you did. Did you see Tommy Robinson there? Are you a supporter of Tommy Robinson? You don't support him. Why is he there at your cause then? Why is he there at your cause? Because we have a cause of Palestine. No, we have a cause of Palestine. You blame Hamas on us. Then I'm blaming Tommy Robinson on you. I'm blaming Tommy Robinson on you. You need to condemn that march. You need to condemn that march. John McDonald's. I don't go McDonald's. Yeah, I only get the fish burger.
If you condemn the women and children killings.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say to you.
Do you condemn the women and the children that are dying? I'm not interested. Do you condemn the 66 children that have died, that have been killed? Do you condemn?
Killed.
Why do you think it happened? 66 children have died, and you're saying, why did it happen? It doesn't matter why it happened. It doesn't matter why it happened. Children dying.
Self-defense.
Right.
So there is no crude rockets.
My nephew and his wife.
Are you saying
no one cares about your nephew? These are 66 children that have died, and you are asking me why have they died?
Condemn the children yet? Killing of children.
Do you want to foster your condemnation?
We can't just shout at each other. We're just going to talk.
That's how you started this conversation.
Because he's making a jihadist statement.
How what jihadi statement was he making?
He was. Right, now the issue is,
Nice try.
I want to know, all I want to know is why do you need to go to Jewish areas in Britain? I understand if you're in Israel, you might. Well,
let me just
if you're in Israel, I totally understand. You might want to go. Britain.
All right, let me just correct you. What's this? You shut your mouth, man. Don't come and drive the car like that. You shut your mouth. There are people here. You can hurt someone like that. Do you understand? Yeah, don't drive like that. And don't tell me to shut up. Do you understand that? Don't shut up. You hurt someone like that. Do you understand? I'll go in your car. Go away. Go away, man. Go away. Yes, you did say shut up. You did say shut up. You did. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. Stop pushing him. Why are you pushing him for? Why are you pushing him for?
What did I do? I was walking, idiot. I was walking back. Keep back. I was walking, idiot.
Okay, calm down. Leave the officers to do his job. Stop, don't come in aggressively because it will flare people up.
Keep back, all right?
Listen, my friend, you guys are not good at this.
Yeah, exactly, but get him out of the vicinity of the place.
Calm down. You need to calm down. You need to calm down. No, I'm not going to leave. Don't touch me.
Guys, you're going to have to leave the park.
Why? You're the one who's driving cars that are fast. Why are you fast? Why are you driving cars? It's happening to go away. You go away, man. It's a free country. What have I done? Get out of here, man. Go. Don't touch the park, please. Leave the park, guys. Don't leave the park now. Don't leave the park now.
Democracy, mate. I said there's democracy. All kicked off and now you need to leave the park.
You guys are
listen, mate. Nobody's leaving it. Actually, go and leave it.
That's the problem.
I've got the power to ask people to leave, alright? So you need to leave.
Guys, honestly, the way you've come in here, the guys you've come in is just out of order, man. You guys are out of order. You guys are out of order, man. We need to rise up now. We need to rise up. What happened?
The thing's got a shirt, bro, and it's got that Rasul on it, bro. She's got Rasul like a big caricature of it with words around on it.
Just leave them. What are you going to do?
Nah, bro, there's people away from the vicinity, bro. We ain't going to move. She needs to move.
This is what we're going to do. This is what this thing is about. The police are the ones that are instigating this stuff. They're coming in like 40 miles an hour into a crowd. Well, how can you come 40 miles an hour into a crowd? That any kid can come out and hurt themselves. Well, you don't drive that fast in a park. You don't drive. They think they own the road. You don't drive that fast in a park going into a crowd. And the crowd was actually quite calm before they came in and made a problem. The police in this country need to start learning how to control crowds. Pathetic. Coming in at 40 miles an hour into a crowd. What if a child just ran out? They could have hurt the child, man. What's wrong?
Disabled people are here as well, man.
Yeah, it's absolutely out of order, man.
I know, but still, bro, like, whatever, man. I dare them, but go wear that down the Champs-Elysees. Go walk down Paris High Road and then wearing that shit. Watch all the dudes.
Yeah, where's the guy that I was talking to?
No, you don't know. He said I made my point. He was a proper shaitan.
I came up to the little group of people with a Christian, and I was asking the woman why this man is arguing about his marriage. He's starting insulting the prophet. This man was starting to he's too shakes. Who? Him, the scumbag. Come on, man. Him, the scumbag. He started insulting the prophet because he knew that the Christian couldn't answer.
Of them? Yeah, good. I beg you, can you send it to me? You got it, yeah?
Hijab.
Bro,
Hijab.
yeah, how you doing, man? You're right. It was nice seeing you.
We were here earlier.
Right? Let's move away from
Let's move on. Honestly, do you know how the car was driving? This was going at 50 miles an hour, bro.
Why were they coming?
They came at like 40 miles an hour. Do you know how dangerous that is? Bro, any kid can come out, they can run him over.
What's going on here?
Ali, all right.
Ready?
Go now.
Yeah, so. Have you got Ali's number?
No, but I'll get it or yours or whatever.
I'll give my number.
Yeah, cool. Shit, fucking hell, mate.
What are you doing, bruv? What are you doing, bruv?
Erratic.
What are you doing? No, man, you can't drive a car like that fast into a crowd, man.
They were attacked by
Why are you driving that fast into the crowd?
We speak to the Sheikh.
Brothers.
What did he say to you in your ear?
Guys,
Why are they driving that fast into a crowd?
we're doing a private interview.
Start threatening you.
Listen, guys.
Say this and that, we're going to beat you up.
No, okay, guys, we're going to have a private interview with them.
Into crowds. Tell your officers to stop driving fast into the crowd because that's what's causing problems. They are causing problems. Your officers are causing problems.
Literally, I thought it was